Even though autumn has really settled in and the garden is put to rest for winter, it has been busy the past few weeks on the homestead. I started to experiment with mushrooms that made me determined to learn how to grow my own and opened my eyes to a whole new world in the magical fungi kingdom. I also made big changes to my garden that has left it forever changed. Last year, I got inspired to learn more about mushrooms and how to grow them. I wanted to grow them outside. I'm surrounded by trees, hugged by the woods. So I picked out a good spot and began to collect the type of wood I would need to inoculate for my mushroom growing. Each species of mushrooms grows best on certain logs. So in order to grow the mushrooms I had, I needed to find sugar maple trees. I didn't have any of those on my property, but a local neighbor did, and it just so happened that they were having the tree taken down that week. So I picked up the freshly cut logs and let them rest for a couple of weeks before inoculating them. I ordered my mushroom spawn from Field and Forest and got right to work. It was a lot of work cutting each log to the correct size, drilling all the holes to the right amount of depth, and labeling them so that I would know which is which. It was a chilly fall day, and at the same time, we were having a dead tree removed on our own land and got a new rooster. So I was running around, juggling many things, trying to get it all done before sundown.
Did you figure it out?
Yes.
Once all the holes were drilled, I started to plug each one with mushroom spawn, sealing each hole with warm wax. With the help of my husband, we got it all done. I stacked them all and covered them with a blanket to keep the logs from drying out in the cool wind. I couldn't wait to see them begin to fruit the following year. But they didn't. In fact, nothing happened at all. I began to get concerned, wondering what I did wrong, and traced my steps to make sure I followed the instructions correctly. I did more research and eventually discovered that throughout the months of changing temperatures and a very dry summer, it's important to not let the logs dry out. So I raced outside to water my logs, hoping that it wasn't all a complete waste. I continued to water them, but still, nothing happened. I was completely discouraged. I'm sure that had I continued to keep the logs wet, I probably would have had mushrooms growing on these logs. But because of my own neglect and oversight on that bit of knowledge, the logs were not going to produce anything. So I threw them into the fire pit and decided that I would try again. But this time, I decided to try growing mushrooms indoors. So I did more research, purchased a mushroom kit from Midwest Grow Kits, and found some spores. Growing mushrooms indoors requires some delicate handling to get it started. It needs to be done in an extremely sterile environment, so I learned everything I could to make sure I would do it the right way this time. There is still so much that we're learning about mushrooms, the benefit they provide to our planet and our health. They're one of the oldest species on Earth. Mushrooms represent birth and regeneration. Fungi helps break down dead and dying organisms, returning them back to the soil, but they also help bring in new life. It is a great alchemist, a great transformer. If we didn't have fungi, our planet would be full of plant matter that would suffocate the earth. And what's especially amazing about fungi is what is happening beneath the soil, through its cells that branch off in so many different directions, creating a webbed system that allows trees to communicate with one another and help feed each other through their roots. It's quite beautiful how trees take care of one another and use fungi as a way to do so. Even when a neighboring tree is sick, old, or dying, the trees around it will try to help it, sending their own resources to that tree. There's so much wisdom in the deep forest, a fine example of what it takes to build a strong community of love, consideration, and support, all playing a role, all supporting one another, regardless of which species of tree or fungi it is. Something we can all learn from.
Strange came by night. Bound away out of sight. To the path through the fields, pulled away. What was real? What was real? Wrap me up in your best. And nail me to the floor. It was such a muted blow. It pushed so hard, moved so slow. Planted there for a song. In the dirt, tall and strong. chop him down, wrap him up in a silver shroud.
Last week, we had to unfortunately remove a few dead trees from our land, all of which were close to our house and in the garden. I've spent the last few years building my food forest garden with these trees, so it was sad to see them go. Because the trees were in the garden and so close to the house, it took some careful consideration to remove them, so we called the experts.
Des Geiers schwarze Haufen, ai, au, und wollen mit Tyrannen raufen, ai, au. Spieß voran, drauf und dran, setzt das Kloster da den roten Hahn. Spieß voran, drauf und dran, setzt das Kloster da den roten Hahn. The of guile dressed in black are we, aye, we'll fight to end all tyranny, aye, spin and ho, on we go, on the castle roof let the red cock crow. Oh, the criers mend their bows and arrows shoot, onward they go, their flag displays a peasant's boot to stand out the foe. Spin and ho, on we go, on the castle roof let the red cock crow.
British soldiers tortured Barry just because he would not tell all the names of his companions. Other things they wished to know. Turn it forward and we'll see you proudly Barry answered no.
On these chilly days, I love warming up inside with a hot cup of tea. And as the days get darker, I am easily affected by less sun. It seems like the gloomier it gets, my mood drops too. So I love drinking my herbal tea blend called Cloud 9. It has rhodiola in it, which is an herb that helps treat depression, even seasonal depression. It's definitely a pick-me-up kind of tea and tastes amazing. It's also a tea that I like to drink in place of coffee because it gives you a giant boost of energy, but also helps you focus. So it's great for those who have ADHD. You can check it out on my website at thenakedgardener.us. Your other favorites are still there too, such as Beam Me Up, the tea blend that I crafted for men to help boost libido, treat erectile dysfunction, and balance hormones such as testosterone. Some of the herbs in that one are known to be nature's Viagra. It's a powerful tea and worth checking out too, as well as my seasonal blend, Chaga Chai, that has all the warming spices we crave during this time of year, but with the added medicinal benefits of the king of mushrooms, the chaga. A powerful and delicious tea, definitely worth trying. You can use code NAKED10 at checkout for a discount. I've spent the last few weeks celebrating the forest, deepening my love for the trees and the fungal kingdom that binds them. There is something magical about being among the trees. And with so much happening in the world right now that has been weighing heavy on my heart, it's the place that I have been returning to for comfort and healing. They touch my heart, hold my pain, and send me loving energy from deep within the earth. They remind me of all the majestic life on this planet, the love that is possible among one another, and that even in the darkest of times, we can all find our way back to the light.